Let's see what's the answer for that question based on that phylogenetic tree that you're looking at. So yeah, some of you picked up on like, all right, she is setting us up. I was. So let me look. Yeah, the mammals are closely related to birds and reptiles as a group. So let me tell you what is a common mistake that people make. They look at this and they go, okay, reptiles and birds, the two most closely related. And I'm like, great, you got it. That's right. And then they look at these mammals. Oh, the next one up is birds. So mammals are more closely related to birds than to reptiles. So like mammals and birds resemble each other more than mammals and reptiles. And I'll go, eh. So that's not true based on this tree that you see here. So how do I know that? Okay, the length of this branch and the length of this branch, these lengths are the same. And then you could argue, well, but there is no number here. And I'll go like, oh yeah, then the length doesn't really matter. So if there is no number, no scale anywhere, then you're like, okay, this length maybe was just to make it easy to read, so that won't matter. So the first thing you do is you look, is there a scale anywhere? You're like, no. All right, then these lengths don't matter even if this was shorter than that. So then these mammals and birds, even though they're right next to each other, that actually doesn't mean anything for phylogenetic trees. So they have, this is called having the same topology. And as my husband says, this is a great way of employing topologists. So it's, no, actually he says that about protein structure, so never mind. But topology is some field of math that in this case that I'm going to give you the example is looking at the relationship between that and that. So the way we will interpret this is if this was a mobile, you know, like when you're a baby and your parents hang the thing above your head so you're entertained. So this is like an upside down mobile. Okay, these are the knots in the strings. These are the things that are the objects that are hanging. What matters is where the knots are, right? So you could flip these guys, reptiles and birds, and they would still show the same relationship. So this was the trick question. Mammals are not more close related to birds than to reptiles, because if we flip to these guys, the tree would still have the same topology. In which case, that would be true that mammals are more closely related to birds if this branch here was shorter than this branch here, and there was a scale somewhere saying that the length of the branch matters. So I think the next slide is just about topology to draw this idea home, and then that's where we'll stop. So here, all of these, even though this is drawn differently, they are the same tree. So C and D are the two most closely related here, and then here too. See, even though they are written in a different order, C and D are still the most closely related, and then here too. And then the next most closely related is B, which is the same here, same thing here and here. So what you're going for is where do the branches meet, and then you start going further and further away. But all of these are drawing the same conclusions in terms of relationships. All right, I hope you enjoyed that thus far. We'll pick up on this on Friday. Go outside, enjoy the sun, if you can.